Shalom, everybody, and welcome to the second installment of the Testament of the Baal Shem Tov. Now, last week we did a lot of background information, a lot of foundational information. So we only finished the first number one, first paragraph number one. Now we're going to go on and get more into the meat of things, and we will begin with Shiviti. Now, Shiviti is, some of you may have heard of Shiviti used as a noun, that somebody has a Shiviti or a Shivisi, which is almost like a poster, which has different names and, divine names and Hebrew words and angelic terms juxtaposed a certain way on this poster. That is, calling it a Shiviti is just a way of saying something. It's because usually at the top of these things it has the verse Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid, which means I place Hashem before me always. It has those words there. So that's why that is called a Shiviti. So I don't want there to be any confusion. Now, we will begin on the teachings, the very seminal teachings of the Baal Shem Tov on this word, because this is really one of the most foundational principles of Chasidic philosophy and practice. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. I place Hashem before me always. Shiviti lashon Hishtavut. So Shiviti is also an expression, even though the first meaning of it, the first literal meaning of it is I place. Shiviti, shivi is shaveh. I place this before me. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. It also means Shiviti loshon Hishtavut. It's also an expression of equality or equanimity. So what does this mean? B'chol davar hame'orav hakol shaveh etzlo bein be'inyan shemeshabchin oto b'nei adam o mevazin oto. In everything that occurs, you need to look at it as though it is equal to you. Whether it's something that you normally would be considered desirable to a person, or would be considered quite undesirable by a person. Just a simple example. If somebody comes up to you and praises you to the high heavens, they say, "Oh, you're such a tzaddik, you're so wise, you've helped us so much." Okay, that's one thing. Then you're supposed to look at that in the same way, or feel about that, really, is more accurate, about that in the same way you would feel if somebody comes up to you and smacks you in the face and tells you what a horrible person you are, you have made me feel so bad, and and you did this terrible, horrible thing, and you should be punished, and you whatever it is, something that people, or another example. Somebody brings before you a piece of chocolate cake. Now, I don't know about you, but chocolate cake definitely has an effect on me. Now, they bring you a piece of chocolate cake, but they also bring you something very chamutz, something very sour, very sour. So, when you look at those two things should be shaveh etzlecha. They should be equal to you. They should be equivalent to you. You don't desire or look for one more than the other. This is an ideal. And as many of the things that we will learn from the teachings of Baal Shem Tov, they're an ideal. They're not something that is necessarily expected from everybody at all times, because this is a very high level to shoot for. But it's better to shoot for the sky and expecting you'll reach a high mountain than to reach for the ground, and that is exactly where you will reach. So, in any case, So this perspective of looking at everything in an equal or of equal value is a very interesting concept, and especially if you consider the reasons why. We'll get to that in a few moments. And so it would be with all things, not just the examples we've given. V'chein b'chol ha'achilot, bein she'ochel ma'danim, bein she'ochel shadvarim, hakol yishaveh be'inav, kevan shehusar hayetzer hara mimeno mikol b'kol. So it's thus it should be, as we said a few moments ago, with all different kinds of food that you eat, etc., whether they be delicacies or just simple things. Everything should be equal to you in your eyes. And why? In order that it will remove the power, the strength of the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination from you. Because each of us, you've seen in the old cartoons with the little devil on the one side and the little angel on the other side, and they're fighting to get to have influence on you. That there is a spiritual, psychological thing that goes on inside of us all the time, which is like that. So the negative influences we call the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, and there are ways in which to fight the evil inclination, and this is one. Hishtavut is one way of very successfully fighting the evil inclination. So, v'chol davar she'areh lo yomar halo zehu mito yitbarach. Here's another thing that's very important to remember. Anything that happens to you, no matter who it is coming from, or coming through, I should say, more correctly, you must consider it as though it's coming directly from Hashem. Because it is. Yes, of course, if somebody, knocks into you, yes, the person is the one who knocked into you. That person, Joe, or Jaime, or whoever it is. However, it was really Hashem who motivated that whole scenario, and the person was being it was the tzino, the channel through which Hashem's influence came. So don't look negatively upon that person, because really you have to look at it as though hakol mi'ito yitborach, that everything is coming directly from Hashem. The imbeinav hagun, and if it's something positive, or if it's something negative, you have to remember in either case it's coming from Hashem. And all of your focus should be in everything that you do in order to bring nachas, to bring pleasure to Hashem. It should be for the sake of heaven, not for the sake of fulfilling your own desires, your personal and selfish desires, rather in order to please Hashem. Aval mitzad atzmo en chiluk, v'zeh madrega gdola me'od. So, what we're talking about is a very high level, a very high madrega. We should always remember hakol me'ito yitbarach, everything comes from Hashem, and also that everything we do is for the sake of heaven, is for Hashem's sake. And if we do this, it will allow us to have control over ourselves. As it says, Hamoach sholet al halev, the mind controls the heart. You have the ability to control the urges of your heart through your mind. It is all up to you. So if you then, and I can give you an example, and this example was somebody whom I know. used to have a very, very bad temper, a very volatile person. Now, this person, and I found this out through some, going through a process of, with he and his wife, they needed some marriage counseling, whatever. And one of the sessions I had with him, he went through this whole process and discussed it with me. He used to have a horrible temper. And what happened was, he came to a point where he said, this is ridiculous, I have to do something about this. So he said, I am going to find the verses in the Torah, because the Torah is the source of everything. It's the background of everything. So I know that I can get my strength from Torah. So what am I going to do? I'm going to find those verses that I can just keep in mind when I'm getting excited or when something goes wrong where I would normally act in a very angry way. And I'm going to keep those things in my mind. Such as, one of the verses he told me was, Hakol meito yitorach, everything comes directly from Hashem, blessed be He, and ein od milvado, and there's nothing other than Hashem. So when I am interacting with someone else or something else, another aspect of creation, ein od milvado. There's nothing other than Hashem. So what am I interacting with? I'm always interacting with Hashem. So he used these techniques, these verses, the power of the Torah through the remembering and reflecting on these verses. He used this to get past his anger. And now, to this day, he's in general, a very, very calm person. There are occasions when he gets a little worked up, but nothing like the rage he used to have before. And most people think he's a very calm person, because he is now, for the most part. In any case, you can, any kind of issue you have within yourself, a psycho-spiritual issue, etc., you have the ability to defeat it, so to speak. You have the ability to heal it. If you can look through Torah, or you can send me an email at relatabletorah@gmail.com, and I will help you perhaps to find a technique or a verse for that particular difficulty. And if you reflect deeply on these things, and you ask Hashem for His assistance, you ask Hashem for His help, you have a very good chance of getting that help and of being successful in your efforts, all according to the amount of effort you put into it. But in any case, let us continue. Okay. Okay, so that I finished. I just didn't want to be redundant here. Let's go on now to Gimel, to number 3. Okay. V'chol, or in another version of this it says v'chein, ha'adam tzarich lavod Hashem yitbarach b'chol kocho. A person needs to serve Hashem with all of their power. And I'll refer you back to a Zohar, something in the Zohar, which actually also appears in the Gemara, but where I read it yesterday in yesterday's class, or the previous class, you'll see it goes into this whole idea that what does Hashem want from us? Everything is Hashem's, right? I mean, everything belongs to Hashem. How can we even give Him anything? But the bottom line is that what we can give Him is our heart, is our passion. So in serving Hashem, we put everything into it. As it says in both the Gemara and the Zohar, Rahmana libabai. What does the All-Merciful One want? He wants our heart. He wants our passion in serving Him. So as it says, Ha'adam tzarich la'avod Hashem yitbarach b'chol kocho. And it also, that Hashem, blessed be He, wants a person to serve Him with all his strength. And then there's in another version of this book, it says, b'chol bechinotav, with all of his characteristics, meaning a person has spiritually and psychologically has different strengths, emotive attributes. That's probably the best way to say it. He has different emotive attributes such as love, such as fear, all these different kinds of things. Now, what this verse is saying is we need to take all of those characteristics and serve Hashem with all of them, employ them all in our service of Hashem, and in fact refine them all in our service of Hashem. Shahakol hu tzorech gavoa, because everything has a great need. All of our strengths that we've been given, all of our characteristics, our capacities we've been given, have a great need. Or they're required greatly, I guess is the best way to say it. Hashem puts us in different situations and has given us different capacities and strengths in order to serve Him in different types of ways. And He will put in front of you a situation which is tailor-made for you, with the strengths that He's given you and the strengths that you have yourself refined during your lifetime, in order that you can accomplish this job, this task that is meant for you specifically, and that you are most capable and most suited to rectifying or to taking care of the situation. Sha'akol hu tzorech gadol, or tzorech gavoa, mipnei she'Hashem yitbarach. Now this is a very important thing. Mipnei she'Hashem yitbarach rotzeh she'avdu oto b'chol ha'ofanim. Now, let's say you're walking along the street. He's even going to say this. Okay, so first I will say that what the literal translation of what we just said was, because Hashem, blessed be He, wants that you shall serve Him in all different ways. He doesn't just want you to serve Him in prayer. He doesn't just want you to serve Him in Torah study. He wants you to serve Him in all different ways. Okay, let's continue, and then we'll get an idea, we'll get an example of that. So what is the intent? Ki lefamim adam holech medaber im bnei adam. Because there are times when a person goes and he speaks with other people, schmoozes, whatever. And even though that, let's say this is a person who's learning Torah all the time, but he goes out, he's going out to get a Coke or a bottle of milk and some cereal, whatever it is, and he comes upon other people, and starts talking to them. וצריך להיות דבוק בהשם יתברך במחשבתו ולייחד ייחודים. Now this is kind of a deep concept which we can bring down to earth. So a person needs to be bonded to Hashem in such a situation, in any situation, in his thoughts, and to yached yichudim, to cause yichudim, unifications, meaning unifying high levels of godliness with lower levels of physicality, of worldliness. Now, what does that mean? That means that learning Torah is a very wonderful and lofty thing. However, doing kindness and goodness in the world is at least as high, if not higher. That is being Yached Yechudim. That is unifying godliness, bringing down a tremendous level of godliness down into the physical world. So you are being Miyached Yechudim, you are unifying the high godly levels with the lower physical levels, and you are lifting up the lower physical levels. Very, very important. And so if anybody tells you, oh, you have to be learning Torah all the time, you have to, learn Torah from the moment you're born, and not work and just go ahead and learn, and no, this is not what a person is supposed to. And some people, I guess it's appropriate for, who have to study and learn and become rabbanim and dayanim, judges and people who can teach and show us the way. But by the same token, for them even, and certainly for us, for most of us, we need to be miyached yichudim. We need to be causing unifications of godliness and physicality in the world. And how do we do that? We do that by doing a mitzvah. We do that by doing a deed of kindness, of chesed to somebody else. So when you are not learning Torah, you're going out and you see somebody who tripped, chas v'sholom, on the street, and you put out your hand to help them and say a kind word. Don't make them feel like a klutz. Say a kind word and make sure they're okay. And you just go. You don't even if it's a poor person, you don't have to give them money. If you give them money, it's also good. But what you did was a great chesed, was a great tzedakah in and of itself, and that was miyached yichudim. You drew down godliness into that situation. You are put there to do this, to be miyached that yichud, and you did it, and you lifted up the situation as well as the world in general. And we'll get into these concepts as we go further into the series. Okay. Okay. V'chein, and also, כשאדם הולך בדרך ואינו יכול להתפלל וללמוד כדרכו, and also if a person is walking along the way and he's not able to pray and to learn as is his normal way, וצריך לעבוד אותו באופנים אחרים, then what is it? It's obvious that Hashem wants him to serve him in other ways. And so that's what he's doing. Now, I was uploading a class. I just want to make sure that a previous class that it went through all right. I don't know if that went through all right. I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to double check that. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. But I was uploading it on my iPad, and my iPad fell asleep. I don't see what's going on. In any case, okay. Now, where were we? There we go. Okay. Ve'al yitzarer et atzmo bazeh. You shouldn't get upset about this. You shouldn't feel pain that you're not able to serve Hashem in the way that you had in mind at that moment. Ki Hashem yitbarach rotzeh she'avduhu b'chol ha'ofanim. Because Hashem, blessed be, He wants you to serve Him in all these different ways, not just in ways that you might have had the thought that you have to. So you have to be praying now, or you have to be doing, No, Hashem wants you to serve Him in all different ways. Pamim be'ofan zeh, ufamim be'ofan zeh. Sometimes this way, sometimes the other way. Lekach hizdamen lefanav leilech lederech. So it's for this reason that Hashem made it happen that you had to go, on the road. You had to go. Let's say you get a message that your mother isn't feeling well, chas v'sholom, and you have to go take care of her. You have to get her something. Well, the thing is, the reason is because maybe just to do that chesed, or maybe also on the way there's something that's going to be put in front of you, some situation that you have to react to, and that is what is your obligation at that particular time. So Hashem's going to make it happen, what you have to do, and He wants you to serve Him in that way at that particular point in time. It's and that's just really repeating what I said on the outside. Okay, that finishes Gimel. We went through Beit and we went through Gimel. I think we're going to try to go through Dalet because I try to make these classes for a half an hour at a time. This one's only 25 minutes so far. So here we go. Here's another general rule. Klal Gadol. This he introduces important and foundational principles either by saying the ikar, and it's an essential thing, or he will say klal gadol. It's a great general principle. So here he's saying klal gadol. What is it? Gol el Hashem masecha vichonu machshavotecha. You cast upon Hashem your deeds, or actually, I don't know if cast upon would be the right translation. Commit to Hashem your deeds. Commit to Hashem your deeds, and then your thoughts will be established. So commit to Hashem your deeds, and your thoughts will be established. Shekol davar sheyizdamei yachshov shu mito yitbarach. And I really said this already, but this is a very important general principle that you have to, that everything that happens to you, remember, it happened, it came directly from Hashem. He wanted it to happen. And He wants you to react in the best way towards it, or the most appropriate way. And this is your test. We're all being tested in any given time. And Hashem wants us to do well and to improve ourselves and to improve the world. And that's why He brings these things which, see, our souls come down here and have certain things which need to be done in order to rectify certain things and to make certain things, certain, I'm not sure exactly how to say this. Let me back it up a little bit. Our souls, there's if there's any such thing as a new soul these days, it's almost non-existent. Our souls have gone through a number of lifetimes, most of us, a number of gilgulim, as they say in Hebrew, a number of incarnations, because our soul has to complete 613 mitzvot, the 613 commandments of the Torah, and all of the laws relating to them, in thought, speech, and deed. Now, in order for us to do this and do this appropriately, Hashem brings us down here, brings our souls into a body, and then we have it's our job, we're given a job, to rectify ourselves through completing this cycle, this process. So, Hashem is merciful towards us and tremendously kind and merciful towards us, and make sure that those things which are necessary to happen for us to react in the appropriate way, that we will have the appropriate rectification, He makes sure that those happen to us, and that these situations present themselves in front of us. So that is what the Baal Shem Tov is saying here. Shekol davar sheyizdamei lo yachshov shu mito yitbarach. Everything that Hashem puts, everything that happens to you, remember it's coming directly from Hashem, and it's for your benefit. Okay. V'yireh shivakesh me'Hashem yitbarach sheyazmin lo tamid ma she'Hashem yitbarach yodea shu tovato, and should see that and you should see and you should ask Hashem to arrange whatever is necessary in front of you at any given time, because He's the one who knows what is for your good. V'lo ma shenireh livnei adam tova, al pi sichlo, and not what a person sees as being their good, what they want to happen, because according to their finite intellect, this is what they think is the right thing to happen. Like, it's obvious that I have to win the lotto, the $47.6 million lotto, because I'm a good guy, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, give tzedakah to people, I'm going to teach Torah, I'm going to, okay, fine, so I might get a Bentley. But the bottom line is, I know what needs to be done, right? No, not really. I know what I want, I know, what I desire, but I don't know what's the right thing for me, and the right thing that Hashem wants in his general plan for everything. So we should pray to Hashem that He should make those things happen before us, which will be for our best and ultimate good. Ki afshar ma shebeinav tov hu ra lo, because things that Hashem would consider, which in Hashem's eyes would be good for you, you might not consider good. You might consider the opposite. Rak yashlicha kol. Rather, you just take it all, give it to Hashem. Meaning, take your bundle, your bundle of difficulties, your bundle of challenges, give it to Hashem. Kol inyanav etzarachav alav yitbarach. You should give to Hashem. All of these things, as it says in Tehillim, Hashlech al Hashem yahavcha v'hu yichak alecha, that you should cast upon Hashem your burdens, and He will sustain you. He will take care of you. And that's the bottom line. You trust completely in Hashem that He is going to make the best things happen to you. And you can also ask Him for revealed good. It doesn't hurt. But, okay. I think that we're going to end up over here for this lesson. Thank you all so much for coming to Relatable Torah from TorahTrue.com. And I encourage you to, let's see if I'm doing it on the right side. I think it's down there, or maybe it's down there. There's a button for you to subscribe. I encourage you to subscribe so you will become aware of everything that comes out from TorahTrue.com. I am your host, Ben-Tzion Saloff. Thank you so much for joining. Once again, as I said before, you can email me, whether it be questions regarding our classes or you may have some other questions or suggestions that you might want to make. Email me at relatabletorah at gmail.com. And I will try to get back to you. Once again, like I said, the last class, I will also be putting together at least one class of answers to questions that have come in. In any case, have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and a good Shabbos. If we're not together again before that, shalom, blessing, and all the very best to you, your family, and to the world. Shalom.